Thank you. I'm Dr. Gardner Bovington, Associate Professor at Bloomingtonian University in the Department of Central Eurasian Studies and International Studies. I'm proud to be here in this deliberative body, exercising freedom of speech, which is a bedrock principle of the American political system. I'm tremendously proud. I'm also proud to show up alongside colleagues, but I also want to shout out to the students. I am so proud of what I've seen students saying today. They remind me, and I think a lot of us who teach, why we teach. It is so marvelous to see their engagement, to see their passion. Like us, they've been here since this morning, and they've stayed to be heard. And I just want to say I'm so grateful. So, I have two principles. The first one is about education. I think many educators and many students in the room know two ways education can fail. The first is when there is no diversity of opinion. When there's no controversy, that produces boredom. When there's boredom is when those electronic devices that we talked about this morning come out. When people are bored, they go somewhere else. It is diversity of opinion. It is scholarly disagreement. It is debate that makes education interesting, that makes a classroom dynamic, that makes students stick around for more. Right? The second way it can fail is when people arrive at an opinion and leave at the end of the year with the same opinion. Right? There was much discussion this morning about opinion, about diversity of opinion, about beliefs. I didn't hear much about the science of beliefs. Let me point out a basic finding about beliefs. There's actually fairly little relationship between beliefs and scientifically attested facts, things established in scholarship. So if we promote scholarship, we're doing one kind of thing, and scholars do peer review of scholarship. If we're promoting diversity of opinion, that's a different thing. We should not mistake the one for the other. Okay? I mentioned a deliberative body. Let me observe, since I've been here with all of you since 10:30 this morning, I've heard many people give passionate and eloquent arguments for and against various bills. And with one exception, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen the votes fall on party lines. Is there a diversity of opinion? Do people have the capacity to change their opinions? If not, what are we doing? That's not what I call deliberating. As a teacher, I want deliberation to mean changing opinions. The last thing I will say is, I teach about, and I teach students from Central Asia, former Soviet Union, and People's Republic of China. For years, the People's Republic of China has been seeking soft power to change academics around the world. I congratulate the framers of this bill because they brought Indiana code of law, at least in theory, more into conformity with what it looks like in the People's Republic of China, where there's political supervision of teaching, of content, of exceptional scholarship, and so forth. I think it would be great for Xi Jinping. I think it would be very bad for us.
If I might, Delaney, for a brief period, I had the pleasure of teaching in the law school of Bloomington, but I think sometimes we don't know what goes on and who are in your classes. And from my position and the topic I was talking about, which was the Iraq War and so forth, I found out that there were people at the university who appeared to be either federal government employees, State Department employees, military officers, or people of that sort. There seem to be quite a few of them. Is that a fair observation?
Absolutely.
And our national government sends people who are involved in security organizations to Indiana University to learn about Central Asia, Russia, China, and so forth. Now, I assume they're not all flaming liberals.
That's my observation as well.
All right, thank you.
May I add one thing? I've also had in my classroom the daughter of a Chinese academic who was to come and serve as a visiting scholar at Indiana University. In 2013, he was detained by the Chinese government because students had made private reports about what he was teaching in the classroom. I don't know whether that language is familiar to you. He was also detained because his scholarship was judged politically unacceptable by the powers that be. He was detained in the airport. His daughter came to the United States. She was able to get a degree at Indiana University. She took my class. I taught her about the politics that imprisoned her father. I don't know how I would go back and tell her. She's now a graduate IU. I don't know how I would tell her that we were moving a little bit closer to the system that deprived her father of his voice, his job, and his freedom. That's shocking to me.
Thank you.